What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob? All right. I'm ready. I'm ready to go here. I think he froze. But anyways, guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification. So you know whenever we post. You can also become a superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. Get a star next to your name. And stars in the universe end of every single month. First dibs on merch, draw spreadsheets, price prediction spreadsheets, and you'll be able to hold a pose like Rob just did for unlimited amount of time when you are a superstar. It's amazing. You can follow us Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Discord in the description. Also a PO box if you want to send us something. Become a superstar Hall of Famer. Look at all these beautiful VIPs. Thank you guys so much. We'll be updating the slides at the end of the month, and we have about 4 more days until we give away another star in the universe. So cannot wait for that.
I got you good there, Rachel. You didn't see through my charades.
I was like, how perfect.
You didn't see through it.
No, I'm too focused on other charades.
I'm good at charades. here.
Yeah. So guys, let's go through the VV Twitter quickly. We had a drop today, and there's a lot of speculation happening because of this drop. There was the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. There's more to come on this. I don't know if you saw the other news that came out. But there's some price action on those Eye of Agamotto's specifically.
Yeah.
From this and another piece of information we're going to see in just a second.
Well, we knew it was coming, right? That we'll talk about it when it comes up. But that VV does sometimes like to drop things in bunches. So we got a comic book with the FA of the Infinity Gauntlet. It wouldn't be the first time. I think I remember at some point in its history of them coming with a comic FA and following up with a collectible FA.
Yep, that's true. So I think we are very near to that day right now. Happy Alien Day. Get a closer look at the 4 carbon neutral posters. So there was 2 drops today. This is the other one. It was the Alien posters. I'm not a poster guy. The frame is kind of cool on this one. A little bit different. Appreciate that they tried to change it up a bit, but you won't catch me buying any of these.
Yeah, I just, posters, they don't, first of all, a lot of things don't excite me right now in this bear market. But posters especially are just, for me, they just don't do it.
Yeah. Big Hero 6. Now, I haven't seen this movie, but I have been feeling the sentiment, and I'm seeing a lot of people are excited for this drop. They did come out with the Medium article, or the VV article.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of them. You got Baymax 2.0.
Yeah.
Which is an uncommon, which is 2,666 editions for 30 gems. But then check this out. You got Super Armor Hero. And it's 2014 editions, and it's ultra rare. So it's like 600 editions less, and it's ultra rare from uncommon.
Similar, yeah.
And then you got this one is animated in sound, Fredzilla, and only 666 for a secret rare. So I feel like this one kind of maybe should have been a rare and not an ultra rare.
Maybe. This movie that one says animated plus sound. I'm curious, if you go up to the original, was it animated or is it just this one that's animated?
No, that's the only one, the secret rare.
I was wondering when I first saw this, he kind of is in a flying position, if it'd be animated for the flying. Yeah. And but yeah, no, it's Big Hero 6. I've seen a little bit of, I think, the first half of the first movie. It's been so long now since I saw it, but it was a big hit with the kids at the time. Mm-hmm. So it's a cool movie.
I was expecting to see like the one in the big white suit. From there, but I guess not on this case, which is fine.
He's been modded.
It gives them more opportunity for future drops, which is good. They're leaving some stuff in the bag. So that is the Alien drop we talked about. Rabbids, there was 15 minutes. They wanted you to join them on the Ubisoft Web3 Discord for a discussion with Ubisoft, and they're going to announce the winners of that Rabbids official AR poster or contest that we discussed on the channel a little bit ago. But still really cool to see them doing some kind of interoperability, I guess, with other licensors, and Ubisoft's a big one.
Well, it's like a cross-company collaboration, which I think is something that we've seen already with AMC. It's really good for VV to do that. It starts getting exposure to, Ubisoft is definitely more popular than VV, so a lot of those followers are going to see VV now through that. Yep. The more obviously with the IPs themselves, they're inherently cross-company collaborations. But when you actually have like a AR photo competition, it just brings it to a whole new level than just offering the IP through VV itself, which is great. Don't get me wrong, it's still great to have that. But when you start the companies actually getting involved, to help promote it as well, you get way more exposure. And I think that if they can get more of that, no marketing, right? Veve'S is a good, they're doing a good job of showing you how not to market. But maybe if they develop the app a little bit more, they'll start reaching out to more of the licensors, and maybe an actual marketing campaign through other licensors could actually bring some users into the app.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. But I do like this type of, I guess this is technically kind of marketing. I just don't know how many people from Ubisoft fan base are into Web3. So it'll be interesting to see how it translates.
Yeah.
There's the one of one. We talked about this, and this is that other big piece of news here. If you didn't see it, guys, Vivi just tweets out a cryptic message, and it says, 5 years ago on the 27th of April. And if you look that up on Google, basically that's the day that the Avengers Infinity Wars, I think, released in theaters, right?
There you go. And there was that 5-year blip, right?
Yeah.
There was a 5-year blip in when Thanos did that. One of those, it ended up being 5 years. So I think the Infinity Gauntlet might actually finally be here. If it's not the Infinity Gauntlet, it's maybe the final stone.
Yeah.
But either way, David, you did say you need to, like, you're gonna want all of them, but he never really said why. Clearly, there's gonna be some added benefit to having all of them. I'm not completely convinced that it's an all or nothing. Like, you either have all of them, you burn them all for the Infinity Gauntlet. I have a feeling that if you burn all of them, maybe you get the best Infinity Gauntlet. But if you don't have all of them, you could still burn them to maybe a lower level Infinity Gauntlet. So we'll see what it is.
Yeah, I think that this day, the 27th, is maybe the day you're going to get the information about it, and then you'll probably see the actual whatever it is in the coming days or weeks. But hopefully they have it all together, and maybe it'll be something cool that we haven't seen before.
Yep, it's finally come.
Yeah. So let's pull up our Twitter here, and this was a fun one. VV Investments, shout out to you. He put together a great video of all the content creators. He went out reaching out to everybody, asking for some cool tips about, or I guess information about the creators and things that maybe people wouldn't necessarily know. So he put it together, and so many people reached out to him that he had to make it into 2 parts. He has like 44 creators participating. So if you really want to get to know the creators in the community, this is a great way. And at the same time, go subscribe to VV Investments, and let's get them a little bit more support. It's always nice to see people continue to put in the work, especially in the bear market, right?
And he's local too, isn't he? He's from around the Toronto area, so it's always nice to also see that. We've got NFT Pirates right there on the cover with us as well. Also, a paisan, as we'll call it, somebody who's nearby, and you can look up what that is. But he's somebody who's nearby as well in the Toronto area, so it's very cool to see that. I learned some very funny new things about the content creators, and it's funny. Some of them were giving away maybe their life story a little bit. Yeah. I was just talking about my Apple course.
If you want to know what he's talking about, you gotta check out the video. Give him some views on that for sure. Really well done, and he always puts in a lot of editing and great work. So shout out to VV Invest.
He did great editing, by the way. Really a good voice. Good voice.
Yeah. He has a great over like.
Yeah, you could do some radio. Put him on the radio.
Exactly. This I had to post. This is for Fat Cat. He's been asking in our comments, like almost every video for like the last 2 months, why he doesn't have MCP. Everybody has MCP, but not Fat Cat. But guess what? Today was the day. Fat Cat woke up. He got the MCP activated. You got to expect that your numbers are going to be completely off for the first couple of days, but then it'll settle in, and then you'll know. But shout out to Chris. I mean, really, really happy for you, man.
It's good. They're really starting to roll it out now. So we're starting to see a lot more people getting MCP. I know my wife's account, which hasn't really been active in a long time. Even that account got MCP. So it's starting to get rolled out probably to the masses. And hopefully soon we'll be able to enjoy MCP leaderboards and any other benefits that come with it.
How'd the merging go? Did you get any update on that?
I got to go back. So I did the initial merge, the emails, and I have to just log onto the account and click merge now. I haven't done that yet. Good.
So it's going through the process. Just took a little bit of time.
Yeah.
This is something fun. Sunday Buckets. Hey, VV official. Can you tell me if I should mint an alien poster, or is the 1979 mint already given to the licensor? Yeah. This info will play a huge part in whether I decide to spend money in your app. So Sunday Bucket's not having it.
It's important. It's a really important consideration. I think it's something I've wondered about. If you remember back when there was that whole scandal where someone was getting a bunch of really cool good mints, and they on the drop they kept landing really good mints on the drop. And then I wondered, is it possible? Like it's crossed my mind. Is VV holding back with the top 50 random mints? Are they holding back special numbers and special mints? I've wondered this before, and this kind of adds to that story and builds on that. But we'll come back.
I guess that is the big topic of the day. But I wanted to show this as well. Shout out to Nos Clint, who is pulling up one of our original speculation pieces where we kind of joined forces with Rob's stuff. We met him through this. So I guess he was somewhere and he found some game pieces from the
my God,
Unlimited,
yeah,
or United, sorry.
Man,
and this is where we were speculating with Rob's stuff. We said it wouldn't be gamified. Rob's stuff said that the Marvel Mighties will be gamified, had it based off of this board game that he used to sell.
Yeah,
looks like so far our original video was right to this point, but I mean, the way that they have it laid out, they could always go back and do something where they can token gate if they really wanted to, I guess. But really, really fun. Those days were really fun.
Yeah, I guess token gating is probably the only way to do it at this point. We know they're not going to go back and change collectibles. So the best you're going to get is some kind of associated utility through maybe the game. If there's a digital game made of it, and you can use it, verification through VV. I don't know how they would do it, but it's not gamified to this point. It probably won't be anytime soon. Yeah.
Rob did a good video too yesterday. Make sure you guys go check that out. He went back to our roots, the Excel spreadsheets, and this time he was tracking. He was speculating on the OMI burn rate and maybe how much it could burn, how much would be left over after 5 years, after 10 years. So really, really fun video to watch. I enjoyed watching it myself. So I thought I should make you have a shout out because I thought you did a really good job there.
Yeah, thanks for that. We're gonna do some more of those, some dart throwing, as I call it. But if you guys are interested in a little bit of math, just a little bit of math to kind of figure out some kind of ideas, it just gives you a ballpark idea. Like these things are just so abstract. Yeah. Really, nobody knows, but you could still try to have some fun with it.
Okay, let's get into the topic. We just hinted at it a little bit, but shout out to our buddy Omi Daily Burn, who keeps a tab on the blockchain for us, lets us know what's moving around into where. What wallets. He does a great job. He's been tracking the posters since the beginning. He's been the first one out with the data saying how many have been minted of each. It's just been a great, useful tool for the community. So if you're not following Omi Daily Burn, you're doing yourself a disservice. But why were the 1923 posters sent directly to Disney? And then he tags Mitch and Alex, and he says, did the VV community ever have a chance to mint them during this whole uncamping month, or were they always reserved for Disney? So what he's talking about is each of the posters had a maximum of 1,923 editions. None of the 1923s had been released or converted once people have burned their potions to get the poster. And he was tracking that. Like he every day said, oh, still none of the 1923s have been formulated from burning a poster. Like he was tracking that. And the reason he's tracking that is because 1923 is very important year when it comes to Disney, or inauguration of Disney, and it's like people look for that number. So Alex caught wind of it, and he said, I guess from the tag, and he says, all withholdings have a portion earmarked for licensors. If the 1923s were sent, it means that they were part of the random 50 mints we withheld and not specifically sent. So already putting it down that it's not possible that this was sent on purpose, and it had to be random. Obviously unfortunate, but they can't be uncapped minted. But let me dig into this a bit. So kind of putting the speaking ahead of what the truth is, I think here, right?
Okay. How is it, like, Alex, you're sitting there thinking about how to respond to this. Do you think that we don't have half a brain? I mean, we're self-proclaimed math guys here. Okay. Yeah. We have a probability spreadsheet. Okay, just for the record. So that's probability. I don't use ChatGPT. We don't need ChatGPT. But what makes you think that saying that this is a random 50 is going to make sense? Like it obviously is a lie. Like, and I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't think he meant it from a perspective of, yeah, it was a random 50. I think he meant it as like, oh, it's just part of the 50 that we're holding back. Mm-hmm. It's the word random is just very misleading.
No, and Omi Daily, you say you didn't want to do the math. Omi Daily Burn already did it. And this is what he found. He's saying that The probability of he asked ChatGPT. The probability of selecting 1923 from a group of 50 numbers is 1 out of 50 or 2%. The probability of selecting 1923 from each of the 4 groups is the product of the probabilities of selecting 1923 from each group, assuming that the selections from each group are independent. So it gives you this whole formula, and it says at the end of it, the odds of selecting 1923 from each of the 4 groups is 1 in 6.25 million.
I honestly, I'm just reading this for the first time. I know he did it, but it actually, I think, is worse than that. No, because if you go back, it's actually worse than that, because if you do, it's actually, you roll the dice between 1923 minus 50 or 41. It's 1 out of that much larger number. It's not 1 out of 50. But then again, they do have 50 tries. So it's I think a little bit more complicated than what they have shown there. But even with those numbers, it's impossible. Like, whatever it is, it's actually not the case. 1923 was not randomized each time in each group.
This is if 1923 is in each of the 50 groups
already. So
this is assuming that it's already held back.
I got you.
It's 1 in 6.25 million.
I gotcha. Assuming it was random of the 50. But even then, the 50 random ones of the 1923, the chances of getting 1923 all those 4 times is still
50. It would be like 50 over that number.
That's right. It's still a ridiculous number. It's 50 over that number, and then times it to the power of 4, right? Yeah. So crazy, unthinkable odds. So we know that Vivi, this opens up the question, is Vivi actually randomizing the 50 mints past the top 40? It's a very important question to ask yourself, because
we got the answer, but anyway, you want
to finish sure. Let's finish it and we'll get to the discussion.
Okay, so we did get the answer of if they are randomizing those 50 as previously discussed. So Alex gave an update. Here's the latest on this. We sent a large batch of withholdings to our licensor per our contract. Our standard withholding typically includes editions 1 to 40 and another 50 random mints, as outlined in blog articles, etc. But because these posters are a craft and burn and not a standard drop, unredeemed editions are slated to be burned. Our approach was to send the highest mints so that the fans have access to lower mints, and being the last mint, number 1923 was sent. It was not planned withholding / distribution. We appreciate the desirability of these mints for collectors, so they have now been transferred back and will ensure that they are available to the community through giveaway promotion or similar. Give us some time on this. What do you think about that, Rob?
Look, Vivi knows more than anyone that the only thing more valuable than a low mint is a unique mint. It's the only place you can truly find scarcity where no scarcity exists. And we know with many other drops, Star Wars drops is a perfect example, 1977. We know with almost every drop on Vivi, there's always going to be the year of Disney, right? It could be the year Star Wars was invented. The inauguration year of Disney was 1923. I think that Vivi, it's possible that they actually made a mistake because they're dealing in the realm of there's no proof here. We have to just take everything that they say for granted. But I just find it so unlikely that Vivi, being in the business that they are in, collectors at heart, they wouldn't have thought that 1923 is specifically for this drop, which had 1923 as the last mint because of the meaning of 1923, that they didn't realize that the 1923 is going to be an extremely important mint. So what I don't like about it is that he kind of almost phrased it in such a way like, oh, we're doing collectors a favor. We gave them the lower mints first, the 2 digits first, the low 3 digits first. But to be fair, sometimes those are not the most valuable in a set. Sometimes a 4-digit of a specific meaning could be more valuable. And it was just awfully coincidental that 1923 ended up in Vivi's hands to then be given to the licensors. So I don't know. It makes me wonder, do they do this every drop?
No, I know, but it's my problem is here. It's the same thing you have a problem with, is this sentence right here. Our approach was to send the highest mints so that fans have access to lower mints. I mean, you made the number of mints 1923 because of the significance. Right. That's the whole reason that's like that. It's very well known that the last mint is important.
That's so,
you saying that you're going to be giving everybody the lower mints, when at 1923 was just a higher mint, so it just happened like that. Like it's not a good look. I mean,
but there's another thing here. Why are they giving people lower mints? That's wrong. You need to make everything randomized. You guys shouldn't be making decisions depending on the drop. If you have a certain set of mint numbers, it needs to be randomized every time, because once you start becoming the jury, like VV often does do, they have the ability to be a government. They can take collectibles from your wallet when they accidentally give them to you, take them back, do all these things. But at some point, like, just let up the control. Like, do a drop and make everything randomized. Just make it randomized. You held back.
Just make it fair. Just make it fair. Like,
well, in this, they meant well. They meant well by saying we're going to give the lower mints to the people, and the people obviously on first glance like that's great. But if you were someone who got one of those 1923 mints, you'd be like, no, I'm glad that VV had it randomized because I actually had an opportunity to get the lowest mint and out the inauguration year of Disney. So I think VV just needs to like take their hands a little bit off of this control button and just make the drop randomized. That includes your 50. I'm completely against the cherry picking from the 50. And someone could say they're a company, they can do whatever they want, but they have not been very transparent about that. They have consistently called them randomized. So follow through with your word. The 50 beyond 40 should be completely randomized. And every time someone hits a buy now button, it should also be randomized. This means that they can control drops, right? They can control what comes out if they want to. Keep your hands off the control and just leave it to chance, and then no one can complain.
Yeah, I mean, it's some things are so dumb. Honestly, I could care less for these posters. It's a poster at the end of the day. It's just the optics. Like, we keep doing these things that make people go up in arms, and this didn't have to happen. Like I said, why do this like this? Maybe Disney wanted them. Maybe somebody at Disney's like, yo, we want 1923, and then they had the conversation. And now what they're doing is cool. We appreciate the desirability of these mints for collectors, so we have now transferred them back and will ensure they are available to the community through giveaway and promotion. So very great solution on how they're going to deal with it. I like that it's going back, but now you're taken from Disney. So was this initiated by Disney because of the blowback? Like, what's the story here? We're never going to find out, but it's curious to see that now they're comfortable going into Disney's wallet to take things away. When we were seeing the low mint stuff with the Dumbo happen, and they said, oh, a lot of people were saying, well, that's Disney's. You can't take that away from Disney. Yeah. Well, so was 1923, and you just took it away. So there's obviously some kind of conversations that could be happening, and maybe Disney is a lot more forgiving than people want to give them credit for, and open to discussion. So, I mean, I've always thought that. I've always thought, like, there's got to be someone who's working for Disney who can see what's happening and understand the community's sentiment and all this. Like, I feel like, sure, they have strict protocols and whatever, but I mean, there's got to be a human person watching over and able to see what's going on and notice that drops aren't maybe selling as much as they could, or the amount of people going for this stuff. Like, how important is it to Disney? And now the fact that they've went in and taken out the 1923s from Disney's wallet, they had to have known that that's happening. I mean, they're not going to just steal from Disney, right?
I don't know. I had a little bit of a different perspective on this. I just felt that maybe what's going on here is that maybe Disney is more disassociated than we think. And just VV's just calling all the shots. And they're just saying, you know what, we're going to give our license to the 1923s because we think it's in their best interest. So we're going to just make the independent decision that we're going to take these 1923s and give them to Disney. And maybe Disney was none the wiser. And VV just keeps doing this every single drop. They just keep picking and cherry picking certain mints that are the top 50, and they're going to give them to the licensors. But I think VV has to do a better job just letting things be a little bit more randomized because they said so, right? Like, you say something and deliver on that. So you said the randomized, so make them randomized. If you say you're going to deliver the VV-verse, deliver the VV-verse. They have a problem saying things, and then sometimes it doesn't align with what they say. And I think this is one that's like kind of a self-inflicted wound. You have some people questioning now, can you just let me know if you guys are doing this every drop? Because sometimes I go for drops for a chance of maybe sometimes getting a unique mint. I like the idea. It makes me feel better going for this drop, even though the odds are so low, because, you know, there's a lot of addictive gamblers on the app, some degenerates. Yeah. So they want to know what their odds are before they even go for it. Even if it's low, they want to know if it's zero for a unique mint.
That's a different take about if maybe Disney's completely hands off.
I just had a different perspective on this. I think I had a feeling that maybe Vivi's just calling all the shots.
If Disney's completely hands off, but then Vivi uses them or like other IP as excuses for a lot of things that the community wants that they're not getting. So I feel like they're somewhat involved, and I think that they know what's happening, especially if you're giving them or if you're taking things away from them right after you just went to make sure they got something back when you're talking about the low mid Dumbo. So curious to hear what you guys think for sure on this.
Yeah, and I think in this case, the fact that I feel like if Disney full blown said, "Give me those 1923s," they would not have taken them back.
Yeah.
But I think because they took them back, there may not have been an actual agreement with those 1923s, and then they still had time. It was still early enough they could take them back. But why don't you guys watching pitch in and let us know below in the comment section? We read every single comment. So what's your take on today's video? What's your take on today's news? Guys, just want to point something out here. Alex here, super pause. Okay, look at those colors. All right. Sometimes I think Alex is just trolling us. I think he knows we're going to be talking about it today.
The stars in the background.
You got stars in the back. You got the word super, and you got our colors. So I think Alex is trolling us there. But anyways, let us know below, guys. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think that Veve'S holding back and cherry picking the mints that they want? Is it truly a randomized 50? Are they doing this all the time on their drops, or is this a one-off thing? Does this turn you off on going for drops, knowing that Veve'S doing this? Do you think they should have been more transparent? Do you think Disney even knows that this is happening, or this is all Veve'S? Or do you think that maybe the way that Disney or the way that Veve'S portrays their way, the way that they do things should be a little bit more clear and transparent? And maybe you would be less angry or less caught off guard if that was the case. So let us know below. And guys, if you haven't already, do not forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification so you get every single video every single day. Also, guys, Superstar VIPs, $2.99 a month to star beside your name, access to our spreadsheet. We have lots of spreadsheets on this channel we want to share with you. So we hope to continue to bring more to you and more utility as well. And also we have giveaways. There's a star in the universe that potentially you could be named after if you join before April 31st, because we'll be giving our April giveaway soon. So guys, thank you all so much. We appreciate your support. Take care, and we'll see you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you.